I'm glad to have a photographer Naser Bayat here with me to present his photographic work and the project Hope as Home. Naser is a self-taught photographer based in Helsinki and has roots in Afghanistan and Iran. Naser's photographs have a beautiful way to capture magical moments from everyday street life. Oftentimes, there is a delightful play of light, shadow, and reflections. In his present project, he explores the meaning of hope among young Afghan people. So then next, it's nice to have you here, Nasser.
Thank you so much.
So maybe you could tell a bit more about your project and your photography background, and you can share the screen also to show us
Ah,
some images.
okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me, and thank you to PVF and also Patricia Cipolla for helping us with this project. Uh, the idea of the project in a way kicked by the event and negotiation between Taliban and the Afghanistan government and the US. So that was like in a way a reason that like it gives me a bit like hope that there might be a change. Well, there is not really a promised future for anyone, but there was some root of hope in a way. So I started this project, and the reason I focus on young generation because I knew that they have been through many changes. Some of them they haven't even born in Afghanistan, but they haven't been accepted to another countries also like Iran. That's why in a way probably the only home they have is home. The only
Mm.
home they have is hope.
Mm.
Uh, I will share my screen.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I made the slides and yeah, I the reason I in a way focus on hope more than the negotiate itself is because I think hope is a sense of human being and there's all this negotiation and all these that politicians they are deciding. I think it has been mostly superficial, very experimental towards people, and barely with good intention and very much uh, for their own ego and whatever else happened behind the curtain between them. So it's the only thing we have is hope, and maybe one way that we go towards so many things that we need and we want to change is like to be collective and without like being collectively together and in a way forget like this ego in a way like or to somehow break it without really being hopeful on politicians because I don't really see that they will bring a changes. It's just the people. It's just and hope is within them, within everyone. And here's the bio and the project.
Mm.
As I said, like the idea in a way was that negotiation, but of course I focused on something more somehow fundamental. Uh, and I think critical thinking without hope is cynicism and also like hope without critical thinking is naive. I didn't want to put my words in a way, like I didn't want to dictate what I want to say. So I tried to just hear quoted their words and what they really think.
Mm.
These these are actually the ones that before this recent situation happens in Afghanistan, and you can see that so many people that they answer me, they are not sure,
Mm.
but yet they are hopeful, and this is like very much in a way also uh, the contrast, or even somehow paradox, that how there is you don't see a light, but yet you're hopeful.
Mm.
Um, it was very interesting for me also to go to see their answers and how they could read the situation even before happening. But in a way, like the irony is like the politicians didn't see it, or all these countries that they were involved and then they were like surprised. I don't know. It's very funny somehow. Also quoted some of the what they think about hope.
Mm.
This song that is a song
Mm.
from an Afghani uh, singer who passed away, but is very famous and uh, very dear to lots of Afghans.
Mm.
This was coming back from, in a way, a trip with a friend that we went, and I was taking his photos, and we were talking about the situation, and it was already after Taliban took over Kabul.
Mm.
Very, very dark days. It was and very well. I don't want to say like unexpected, because as I said, like it was very clear that in a
Mm.
way what was going on, but we were all in shock.
I'm thinking, as these people are living now in Finland, uh, what kind of role um Finland has in this hope? Because in the last quit, there was something that when they would get back to Afghanistan, they would have a same kind of rights than in Finland. That I was thinking how this here, yes, that
Yeah,
that would experience the same rights as I experienced in Finland. That I'm thinking what kind of hope Finland has also give for these people.
I think the fact that at least here uh, women's rights are uh, in a way the same as at least like the human right that we have the definition. Uh, in Afghanistan, it hasn't been like this. It was like getting a shape to be in a way that woman has the right, and it's. I remember her answer when I read. She was very afraid that Taliban come and
Mm.
then they don't allow women and girls, young girls, that they study in school, and this happened.
Mm.
So basically, this fear. I I don't know what specifically Finland. What can they do? Like Finland and lots of other countries, they have been there in Afghanistan for 20 years.
Mm.
I think they had a big chance to do something, but
Mm.
still there is a way to go back there. I don't know if that's the way, but uh, all these countries, they had the chance, especially United States.
mm,
and of course Finland. And I think mostly with I really don't know how Finland can do.
mm,
The problem is that also it's not always like an outside country. They have to bring something. Also, the people should in a way be ready and
mm,
embrace the new changes somehow.
mm,
And basically, the democracy that they want to bring, uh, it didn't work.
mm,
It didn't work. Maybe people weren't ready, and also maybe there's something wrong with democracy, the way they
mm,
are selling to people. So
mm,
uh, I don't know what exactly Finland can do, but the fact
mm,
that they have been accepting the immigrants, that's nice. But still, there is a question why we have to have immigrants at first place.
mm,
So I think that will go too much into politics, and I don't really want to focus mostly on that, even though they are the reason that we face with so many problems.
mm.
But I really want to still keep the hope alive in a way. And
Yeah, and I think for me, from this quote, it makes me feel that when um, when you have experienced that things can be differently, then you can have this hope that things can also change. That I feel that there is a big source of hope also in this, that you have actually experienced that things can be somehow different. Uh, but as you said,
I
it's
think
quite um, like it's not easy thing just to, that things should like things should be just take to another place, but also the thinking maybe in Afghanistan should be changed, that we can't just bring things from here to there, and it's really complex thing, I believe.
it's very complex, and also about the like when they experience, or myself, I experienced. I think hope means another world exists, but and or another world is possible, but it's not promised. It's not
Mm,
guaranteed. And this is, I know, for example, her background. She born in Iran, but she has been always feeling that she's from Afghanistan, and also this not being accepted there, and then in Finland somehow uh, way more than Iran being accepted. That I can say for sure, because in Iran was so different. I was there also, and of course Finland is
mm,
much better in this sense of accepting. But that's the thing, that yeah, their hope can be like a possibility, but not like really promised, guarantee, and in a way like probably hope calls for actions, and actions
mm,
uh, without hope is impossible in a way.
mm.
There is some of these answer to the hope was so interesting for me, and how they see.
Yeah.
And this is his answer. Here, actually, I was with a friend. He's a very good friend of mine, and we were talking about the poems that all those, in a way, uh, our shamans that they have been, their words have been hundreds of years there,
Mm,
and I don't know why instead of following them, we followed the politicians
mm,
and where we are now. And when we were talking, in a way, it made him dance somehow. And I added the point from Rumi that he's pointing that, in a way, if I translate it, it probably
mm.
will lack a lot, because
Yes, I understand.
yeah, but it is somehow that he says that we are from somewhere else, we don't really belongs to this and that,
Mm,
as he was like very free.
mm,
And that's how I feel also, like I never feel like from a specific place or something, but yet there is like, because of the what we lived and the nostalgia and the love we have for some the moments we spend and the place I born.
Mm,
For him is the same. He also, I think, born in Iran, but he has been in Afghanistan.
mm,
And I added just some photos that I have been taking.
mm,
15 slides it was, and I think two
mm,
minutes and
mm. I
whatever.
would maybe just for the last, or not maybe last, I would like to hear about also how you are going to continue the project. Maybe you can tell that, and then I have one question still.
Yeah. Um, I definitely want to continue this because I feel it's incomplete in the sense that I started with the intention of traveling to Afghanistan and also show there's a difference between the ones that they're experiencing life there in Afghanistan and the ones who are living here. And of course, they have been through many things to arriving there. As I said, most of them they haven't even born in Afghanistan, but
Mm,
yet they feel from there. They are from there, and they travel like just for short time. Uh, because of that, I still want to continue here uh, with new people, or maybe probably again with them, just talking and going, taking their photos, and then yeah, at some point I want to go to Afghanistan and continue there. I don't really want to show what's going on, like how the media shows what Taliban doing, but the everyday life, that how it is under this regime. That's the idea. So
mm.
let's see if I can make it possible.
Yeah, and I think in this situation of how things have changed in Afghanistan, I would guess that this would also affect the idea of hope of people here and there.
Yeah, definitely. And there is news coming from Afghanistan and really not good news, like especially economic situation and of course completely another world, like the
Mm,
way it was before,
mm,
how people used to live
mm,
and how it is now. It's just a shock.
mm. Yeah. So maybe your project is coming more and more important for the people as and I think it was beautiful what you said about this poem that it's hard to translate. Um, that uh, that the project name of the hope as home uh, is something abstract. That it's not a place, uh, but it's something more. That even though you would travel in any country, you would have this kind of home with you.
Yeah, it's very not this physical, like
Mm,
I think hope is like embracing the unknown and unknowable.
mm,
So just it's a boost for moving
mm, yeah.
and continuing life.
Mm. And one question I wanted to ask was because we didn't talk so much about your photographing, or as I have understood that you have really emotional like relationship for photography. That I read somewhere that you fall in love for photography, maybe also in the recent years, and I think it's really inspiring and beautiful to say. So it would be nice to hear just shortly when you are photographing, like what photographing means to you.
Uh, I think photography is like magic itself, and I I don't take the camera to go out. I let the camera take me out.
That's
Something
beautiful.
like that. Something like that. Like it's like floating. It's amazing that I have been always interested in art, and I didn't have the chance to really follow it in Afghanistan. Painting, especially visual art. But then when I find out that in a way I can also press the shoulder and really feel the moment, and I just kept doing it. Uh, it's just yeah. I don't remember the last time I have been out without my camera, and it's interesting that one time. This is actually words from an Iranian photojournalist. He's well known, Hossein Fatemi. He said like if art is the religion,
Mm,
photography is like that part of them, like uh, praying in a way a lot daily. So that's also in a way for me. If art is my religion,
mm,
yeah, photography is like that. My daily spiritual,
mm,
like praying somehow to
mm,
the universe and to the mystery.
mm, mm,
And I like to like I don't know. Here I wrote about myself somehow. I really like to be imaginary.
mm,
uh, I believe the last word of that friend that he wrote, like this miserable world, because this world is like, it just became like so, so, I don't know, like, I don't want to be like hopeless, like when this situation happened, I think there should be, there should be a light in the end of tunnel,
mm,
but definitely
mm,
I love to use my imagination and
mm,
abstraction more in my work.
mm. I wish all good for you this
Thank you
project,
so much.
and
Thank you so
we'll
much,
wait
and for
for.
your help also,
Yeah.
that you have been very helpful. Yeah, a
No
lot.
worries.
And
Yeah, I can't wait to see what kind of form it takes, and hopefully we will get to see all these images together and become also hopeful.
yeah, hopefully. Thank you.